North Carolina State Judicial Watch, balancing the scales of justice. 90% of government is corrupt, and that's putting it mildly. 90% plus of government, after allowing the election results to go through, after seeing what has occurred inside of our schools, after seeing the books that have gone through, the perversion inside of our children's classroom, it is easy to see that the government is corrupt. It has been for a very long time. We at North Carolina State Judicial Watch are doing something about it. Our mission at North Carolina State Judicial Watch is simple. North Carolina State Judicial Watch is a nonprofit organization founded to identify, investigate, and expose corruption, and to educate the public about dishonest practices in public organizations that are ultimately accountable to the legal residents of North Carolina, who are the legal voters here in North Carolina. North Carolina State Judicial Watch offers in-depth analysis of North Carolina judicial system, reporting on events and people that affect North Carolina residents, North Carolina legal voters, and we establish education pathways for these North Carolina legal residents through outbound media distribution partners, as well as through workshops to educate them in the skills, knowledge, and attitude necessary to conduct their own citizen journalism. An immediate priority is the recent election fraud that took place in 2020 and beyond. Judges who approved the results and enabled the theft of an American election must be held accountable. Currently, the state and individually the counties of North Carolina are embroiled in a battle over education and mandates for school children. Parents are fighting back, many as citizen journalists with evidence to take before judges. We at North Carolina State Judicial Watch wish to bring cases before friendly judges. And we know exactly what this means, because there are judges out there that are unfriendly to the cause of America. Our higher, adjacent, and supporting companies are as follows. We work to align ourselves with the Greater Overall Judicial Watch non-for-profit, Project Veritas, and Turning Point USA on a broader federal level. Here in the state of North Carolina, we work with our adjacent units at Team America on the education side, on the medical side, and in a variety of ways. Team America is helping to organize and motivate groups of people in order to go and commit positive, effective change here in North Carolina. We also work with the Ciaradini Law Firm as an extension of the legal support and indemnification that North Carolina State Judicial Watch has to offer, along with many other units such as Education First Alliance, Liberty First, Moms for Liberty, Mama Bear, and various organizations. In support of North Carolina State Judicial Watch, organizational management is ran through 5paragraph.com using the military management method for the modern workforce. 5paragraph.com. In order to make our mission a success at North Carolina State Judicial Watch, we must employ forensic journalists who operate autonomously in the field to gather intelligence and collect information on parties. They operate independently, without direction, to snuff out the leaders and resources they need to be effective. When necessary, they have access to legal services. Once the information is gathered, it is reported through trusted outbound media outlets. The impact of our actions positively affect North Carolina voters, legal voters, and legal residents. It takes capital and resources to make this happen. And therefore, we're requesting donations to North Carolina State Judicial Watch, a 501c4. North Carolina State Judicial Watch is headquartered in Raleigh, the capital of North Carolina. North Carolina State Judicial Watch is a 501c4 nonprofit, an organization for social welfare. There are no shareholders. There is no political affiliation whatsoever. North Carolina State Judicial Watch is focused on rooting out corruption, plain and simple. Here is where the pot of gold goes. Here is where your donations go. Journalists in the field gathering intelligence and information, outbound media partners and news outlets, they need legal support. They need identification. During their information gathering, in order to help them out with FOIA requests, Freedom of Information requests, they need legal support. When those journalists put articles out in outbound media outlets, they need legal support. There will be defamation suits. The enemy wants to fight back. We also need to educate citizen journalists. We need to provide them legal aid. And we need media creators. Each one of these lines of business require capital in order to make it a success. We are educating North Carolina residents through North Carolina State Judicial Watch. We are educating legal voters through North Carolina State Judicial Watch. These are the operations of North Carolina State Judicial Watch. Donating today means a truth being brought out to the public. Donation gathering events and other various things are coming up on the horizon. Please make sure that you put your name on the email list in order to stay informed of North Carolina State Judicial Watch's ongoing events. Here is the breakdown of financials, the percentages as we see them. 30% of the overall money is going toward legal support, 25% toward journalism and journalism instruction, 25% towards reporting. That's outbound media outlets as well as advertising. So boosting our outbound media outlets, boosting them across social media and through other advertising means. And lastly, 20% goes towards the operation and education of North Carolina State Judicial Watch and our journalists and outbound reporters. This all requires capital. Your donations are hugely appreciated. Please make them out to North Carolina State Judicial Watch. We are focused in these areas or groups in order to partner with organizations and gather donations overall. Our intention is to gather private citizen donations, organization donations. We have already applied for and begun retaining grant money. We also will engage in event sales put on by community leaders involving North Carolina State Judicial Watch, as well as how-to workshops that you can be a part of as citizen journalists. And, of course, refer donations throughout our greater overall outlet or network. We appreciate you signing up. That's where it starts. Sign up for the North Carolina State Judicial Watch newsletter. Be informed. Come to our virtual meetings. We host them weekly. Be informed. It starts right now by going to ncsjw.org and getting signed up. North Carolina State Judicial Watch has an annual budget of $3 million. Please write your check payable to North Carolina State Judicial Watch. We have other means of donation gathering that are out there. The simplest way to maintain accountability of our North Carolina judiciary is to write a check to North Carolina State Judicial Watch. We're a 501c4 non-for-profit, no shareholders, no political affiliation. North Carolina State Judicial Watch management team is responsible for the daily operations of the organization as well as the outreach on behalf of the operators inside of the organization. Brian Tomlinson is the principal. Matthew Ciaradini, Esquire, is attorney at law, and we are working with numerous leaders in outreach. Here are a few by name. We continue to grow through leaders of organizations that work with North Carolina State Judicial Watch. Get signed up at ncsjw.org. Brian Tomlinson is the founder and principal of North Carolina State Judicial Watch. He can be reached by email at brightguy4freedom@protonmail.com or by phone. Feel free to text or call 919-909-4104 and engage with Brian directly in order to better understand what North Carolina State Judicial Watch is doing for you on a daily basis. Support for North Carolina State Judicial Watch grows daily. We will continue to show through legal transparency, through accountability. We will continue to show how we have partnered with other leaders of organizations so that way you, the North Carolina legal citizen, legal resident, the legal voter, is well educated and informed on what we are doing here in this watchdog organization. North Carolina State Judicial Watch, balancing the scales of justice.